somebody coming from Ireland to a placement in the Whitney house, and would somebody put them up, and Jim and Teresa put me up, and there was another friendship. They came to Ireland. I've never gone over to them now, but they came to Ireland and stayed in my house.
Yes.
It was so good to me over there. People were so nice. And Jim died a few years ago, so I keep in contact with Teresa, and Teresa's in her late 80s now.
Yeah, that's lovely.
So it's just amazing. Out of all that thing, there's always friendships.
Friendships lasting for life.
Last for life.
Yeah,
and they certainly do.
Yeah. And how did you?
So I forget the second placement now. It must have been in. It'd have to be social work. So it must have been in the.
There was one abroad, I think, and then there was two in Ireland. Short ones and then longer ones.
Yeah. That was the long one away. That was in England, in Whitney, in Oxfordshire.
And how did you find
it? It must have been Kilkenny. It must have been the Social Service Centre in Kilkenny with Stan. Yeah. I don't know where the other ones. I've completely forgotten about the other one.
Yeah, no, I think one of them was only short. It was only a week or two.
That's right.
Yeah, it was only a short little, and it was probably at the very beginning.
Yeah, can't remember what I did then.
And did you find then you'd have support, especially for that sort of incident that happened with the girls following you and everything?
Yeah.
How did you cope with that? Like, is that...
Well, when I reported the next day, there was nothing taken of it. There wasn't.
Okay.
It
seems pretty normal for them to do that, so maybe you're...
Yeah, they just said they're only your kids and they're just out for a bit of fun. I didn't think it was fun, because when you're threatened, it's not fun.
No, especially if you have an injury and you're kind of limping along going, oh God, I can't get out of here.
I've got somebody giving me a cane to help me walk home.
Yeah, you feel a bit more vulnerable then, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, you told on me and we're going to get you for telling things.
Fair play to you, stood up for yourself.
Yeah, well, it's the only thing you could do. And then
And do you think there was anything from the course that helped you do that, or was it just that that's your character?
Well, I suppose it's to stand up for yourself, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would that have been part of the course, coming from...
Well, or was a person, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit of both.
Maybe a bit of both.
Just straight the character.
The fellow went to jump me, and I jumped. I heard the scuffle behind me, and this was a couple of years before that, or 2 years before that, and I jumped aside, and he went flying, and my bag went flying, and I ended up going after him and pounding him. How dare you? Pounding him. So I don't know, to do that in the street with nobody around to help you.
Yeah.
And
but you get pure vexed when somebody's like that.
Yeah,
what are you at?
Yeah, what are you at? Pick up my bag.
Give it over. I think more people need to be like that, to be honest.
Surprised he ran away. I don't know what he was up to.
So I'd say it's your character, so.
Wherever way he went to grab me, the bag went flying. He went to grab my bag, but wherever way I turned, the bag went flying
caught him on the hop.
And I just went.
Fair play,
yeah, so I suppose maybe it's in you too to self-preservation.
Yeah, but your observation skills are obviously cute as well, that you picked up on it.
It must have been.
You know, you had a heightened sense that there was something going on. Brilliant. Great, I'm going to kind of ask about just the placements, or not the placements, sorry, the different modules. So there seemed to have been a big emphasis on group work.
Huge.
Do you want to tell me about that? What was that like?
Well, maybe that was the group work. That's maybe where all the thing came from, because when you go into the group work, like, you're an individual in the group. You could be threatened by the group.
Okay.
You could,
Yeah.
But Pat was such
This how you
good, thank you. Pat was such a good leader that he didn't let that happen in the group.
Okay.
Yeah, the group was, I'd say we were quite honest with each other.
Yeah. And how did you find that? How did you find that in reality? What was that like?
That was okay, because that would be my thing, that, to be honest, is better than anything else.
Okay.
Okay. Honesty is the best.
Okay.
So if there's something going on, you say it out.
Yeah.
And okay, it might hurt for that moment, or it might hurt the person, but at least if you say it out and you can discuss it, well then, it's sorted, it's out, and you can move on. You don't.
So you're discussing each other as such, like, are you discussing the behaviour of the group and everything?
Everything could come up.
Okay, anything and everything. Okay.
Anything and everything.
God, that sounds a bit daunting.
Yeah. But I remember one morning, somebody, Pat couldn't come in, and somebody decided they were going to take into the group, and I had nothing to do with it. I said, sorry, I'm out, and I went into town.
Okay.
Just said, sorry,
Okay, well, why would you do that? Like, well, how come?
Because it wasn't that I felt threatened by the person, or maybe I did a little, but it was kind of, it wasn't that we settled in, but this person decided, I'll take the group.
And he was one of the other
It
students?
was a girl.
Oh,
And
she
I
was a
said,
student as well,
yeah.
or was she?
She was a student.
Okay.
And I said, you must be joking.
You're not fitting his shoes.
I'm getting out of here.
Okay, so...
And I did, so a few people left and a few people stayed
Yeah.
for that march. So I don't know what went on in that, but that was the kind of thing you just made up your mind if you were going to stay.
And what did
or go.
Pat bring that she wasn't bringing, if you like? If it was just a group and somebody's there and you're all...
Yeah.
Like, what was the difference then with Pat being there? What's the...
Well, because if something cropped up that somebody couldn't deal with,
Okay.
Pat was there to guide you.
Okay.
And he was a guide. He did bring it.
Okay.
He might come out with something himself. We had Stan as a group leader
Yes,
as well.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and she was very good as well. I suppose maybe did they all take groups?
There was a group of 20 and then you were split into 2 groups of 10.
Yeah.
And then you had your tutor, you had your tutorials and stuff
that
as
kind of
well.
thing with
But
all
it looks at
difference.
that's
Yes.
what,
So long ago. I mean, this is 40.
I know, fair play. I can
years
hardly
ago.
remember what I did last week yet, to be honest. So, fair play.
So trying to think.
So was it the relationship again? You're talking about relationship.
Yeah, I
Was it
think
the
it
relationship you had with Stan and Pat built on trust?
Yeah.
That you trusted, that
Absolutely.
you could feel
you could say
vulnerable.
what you want, vulnerable,
Vulnerable,
and
would that be fair to
and
say?
they would take care of that
Okay,
vulnerability.
okay.
They wouldn't let anybody else step on it.
Okay.
You know, it was respect. That was a big thing, Drew. Respect what each other person says.
Okay.
You know, you mightn't agree, and you'd say, oh, yeah, but then you'd say, okay, well, that's where they're coming from. So, okay, why are they coming from there? And let's tease it out. And that was Pat.
Mine might come from this perspective as well, I suppose. So at least you're
so you see both.
constantly...
Because that was Pat. That's the way Pat worked.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So that seems like self-development, self-reflection. It's like a constant experience.
That's what group work was. And I remember doing sitting up at nights at home doing. My mum and dad saying, "Are you ever going to turn out that light?" I said, "I will now in a while. I'm just getting through this." You know, when you're talking about individuals in the group, how you feel. Like I remember doing. I don't know what one of the things was, but I remember saying, well, like you're in, like if you're driving along in the car and there's no one there, you're isolated.
Yeah.
You know, and anything can happen all around you, but you're in that spot and that's where you are at that moment, and nothing is interfering with you unless something happens. And then, like, how people live and how people, like I live on my own.
Yeah.
But that's easy for me.
Yeah.
But it may not be so easy for other people.
Yes.
You might want to have people around them.
Okay.
But within the group, you learned a little bit about that. You learned about loneliness. You learned about...
Not making assumptions.
Yes,
and
exactly.
judgments on others just because you like it a certain way.
Yeah, exactly. And
other people can be very different.
Absolutely. And I think when you're with 10 people in a group or 20 people, I think we did have big group meetings. We must have had.
I think you did. I think once we did the big ones, and then you had the smaller therapeutic groups, you called them.
Yeah.
Tea groups.
Yeah. And I think that was pretty awesome at times, you know, 20 people and everybody, 20 people together.
Yeah.
I remember one girl saying, I said something, she said, Wenda, I think you I need love could fit you kind of thing.
Okay.
And I was saying, what? What are you saying? Are you telling me that I can change all the time? I'm like a chameleon.
Okay. Brilliant, right?
Well, okay. That's your point of view. Anybody else think like that? No. Okay, that's fine. That's your point of view.
And would say if that finished, then would you take that up outside of that group, or it's literally set in the group?
No.
Okay.
Pat was very clear.
Okay.
On that. Group therapy was group therapy, and it stayed there. It didn't.
Okay, so it's kind of safe space then, really, wasn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
A very safe space.
Yeah.
You knew that once you got out of there.
Okay, so I can see.
Going to fall you out and nip
Well,
you.
I can see why then that girl just volunteered. You'd be like, "Who are you?" Like, turn your CV on the table first.
We were up and out.
Yeah.
I'd say a couple of people stayed, but I don't know.
Depends on, yeah, if you take it very serious, I suppose. And it's that
Yeah.
vulnerability, isn't it?
Yeah.
To be-
And I'm not going to say who